watching the Sports and Political channel of LB. If you're not a subscriber to this channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit that like button, and share these videos on your social media platforms. All right, before we get down to business, this video could contain language that may not be suitable for children. You must be 18 years of age or older to witness the content on this platform. All right, so let's talk about this. So what's been going around in the media in the Brittney Griner case is there's this media narrative, whether you on a late night comedy show like Trevor Noah or a White House press briefing like Kareem's Jean-Pierre, right? What's been going around the media is that Brittney Griner has been wrongfully detained, right? That's the big talking point that's been going around the media, okay? Now, I'm here to debunk all that, okay? Because she was not wrongfully detained, all right? I will repeat that one more time. She is not wrongfully detained. If you go through an airport, right? Especially if you're on the, excuse me, especially if you've been on an international flight, okay? Been on an international flight, depending where you're going, you have to go through customs and all that, right? They're going to screen your bags. They're going to screen you, right? Some countries, their security are very aggressive in their interrogation process as to why are you there? What are you doing there? Do you have family or any kind of relatives or a close friend that live there? And if you're not able to tell them that, they're going to fly you back to where you came from. With the distribution of drugs and whatever else that come through planes, trains, and automobiles, a lot of these countries are very aggressive in interrogating people coming from other countries as to what they're doing there, how long they're going to be there, what's their purpose, do they got family, friends, any kind of relatives that's going to be there. They will put you through the ringer. And if you're not able to articulate and clear and concisely tell them what you're doing or where you're going, you will get deported back to where you came from. And if they go through your bag and they go through, because they're going to go through everything, okay? They're going to go through everything, every little nook and cranny, any little thing that could be considered a place where you can potentially hide drugs or weapons or anything like that. They're going to look at it. They're going to go through it, right? And I need people to understand that when you are in another country, you cannot try to adopt American values or your personal belief onto their native land. No different than if you were to go to somebody's house, right? You cannot call yourself imposing your will on someone else's house. You can't just be propping your feet up on someone else, on somebody's table, or laying up on somebody's couch, or going in the refrigerator all unwillingly and all that, just getting whatever, cooking whatever, not cleaning up after yourself, not being respectful of that person's property, not greeting people and all that, right? So if you're not willing to accept people doing that in your house, then what makes you think you can go over to another country and try to impose your will, impose your values onto them? When their values, their customs, their traditions, their ideologies is totally different. And this is why other countries look at America the way they do, with this negative perception, because a lot of Americans have this false sense of entitlement when they go to other countries. They think they can just go to other countries and we just can impart our wisdom, impart our values, impart our customs, our ideology upon them. And that's absolutely not the case, right? She broke a law. I need everybody to understand that, okay? She broke a law. She broke a law. There's no way getting around that. She went over to another country and broke their laws. And you can say that, oh, it was only a gram or whatever else, right? But the fact of the matter is she's not supposed to have that at all. There's a lot of countries overseas to where if you get caught violating one of their laws over there, you're stuck over there. They don't have no statutes. They don't have no memorandum of agreement or memorandum of understanding to where if you get in trouble over there, all they got to do is get a hold of the embassy. The embassy with this ambassador or representative can work out a deal to get you back home. One country that comes into mind that we don't have an MOU with is Turkey. You get in trouble over in Turkey, you're going to be over there. And ain't no Fourth Amendment, no right to a speedy trial or a whatever else amendment that's you're gonna manipulate and weaponize to get your outcome, the outcome you want. Definitely not going to happen. And before I continue on, I'm going to give a salute to Arquise Ross. Arquise Ross, he sent me a donation through the Cash App earlier today. He didn't leave a message, but I definitely salute to you and thank you very much for your donation through the Cash App. Much love, much appreciation, much respect, sir. Thank you. Now, as we continue on, the media, through its politicians and all that, because they want to sit up there and say that Brittney Griner has been wrongfully detained. Well, that's definitely not the case. She has not been wrongfully detained. She went over there, she broke a law, now she got to pay the penalty for breaking that law. Now, is there a chance that Biden and his Secretary of State could work out a deal, right, with the Russian equivalent to where it can bring her back home? Possibly, right? And there's a political thing in play here, right? United States has been sending money in the tens of billions of dollars to the Ukraine. Russia wants to overtake the Ukraine and overthrow the government and bring the Ukraine back to Russian control, right? Russia's seeing that the United States has been sending billions of dollars over to the Ukraine. You think Vladimir Putin is happy about that? Hell no. Then you got a WNBA player, right? And Brittney Griner, who's been going over there for years and years and years, winning championships in their Russian league for years and years and years, right? Got busted with weed cartridges in her bag. And this is where personal accountability comes in, right? Sure, she admitted to it, and sure, she apologized, and sure, she said that she didn't mean to commit a crime. But the fact of the matter is, they don't care whether you committed a crime or not. The fact of the matter is, you committed that crime. That was irresponsible on her part to not check her bags and verify that she had everything she's supposed to have, and make sure there's nothing in that bag that's illegal that could come into question, that could leave a chance of them bringing her in and being detained. Okay? So this whole notion where I'm gonna give you an article, right? And this article was very disingenuous by MSNBC. So my thing is, she's been abandoned by NBA players, right? So we're just gonna hold the NBA players accountable for her actions, right? I want y'all to see this, right? I want to read this article out to y'all because this article I read last night was so disingenuous. It was so disingenuous that this article was even presented out here to the masses. But see, every time you turn your head, right, anything that goes wrong in this country, blame the black man, right? They want to sit up here and divide and conquer the black community. Everything that goes wrong in this country, blame the black man. Look at this stuff. Look at this thing right here. Brittney Griner has been abandoned by the NBA stars who could help her the most. Now, if you understand the dynamics of what's going on in this country, right? When it comes to the black man and how the black man get railroaded by the system and how the black man gets emasculated by feminists out here, right? Emasculated, castrated, their manhood being stripped from them and taken away. Now, if you understand that principle, right, and you got every feminine on TV or on social media or whatever platform that decides to give them a camera and a microphone, they'll sit up there and say how black man ain't this and black man ain't that. And we don't need black men. And black man is a cancer in society, right? Because everything that's going wrong in this country, blame the black man, right? Until they need something. Now, this article right here is disingenuous. So now they blame the black men for not attending WNBA games because the numbers are so low. The attendance is low. The revenue is low, right? Now, meanwhile, the NBA has been pumping money into the WNBA. Now, if the NBA is pumping money to the WNBA, because that's the only reason it's been afloat, right? Despite the massive overhaul in its marketing and in its campaign to attract more revenue. It went through a massive overhaul, but nobody wants to tell you that, though. Nobody wants to tell you that the WNBA has gone through a massive overhaul in its marketing campaign to attract more people to the games, right? They had massive discounts at a Kroger. You could get 5 in 1 for one price. You get 5 tickets for one price, right? They were bringing in the WNBA players on for these different commercials out here. They were doing things for swimsuit issues of Sports Illustrated. All the stars of the WNBA, right? They've been trying to push this thing to where they can get more people out to the game, because despite all that, you got to get people out to the games, right? So why is it on black NBA players to attend these games to get more people to come out? Why is that? The NBA has been pumping money into the WNBA. That's the only reason the WNBA has been afloat, right? And then on top of that, right, this massive overhaul, as I just alluded to, this massive, with the thing with Nike trying to get them more exposure, right? They've been on ESPN doing NBA commentary. They've been on NBA TV doing commentary, like the Candace Parkers and the Shania Wumike, right? So you got all these people, right? You had the Brooklyn Nets minus KD and Kyrie going to the game, attending the games, right? Bradley Beal has been at a few Washington Mystics games, right? So you got all that going on, right? But it's on the black men that's playing in the NBA, and it's on the black men to attend these games to support WNBA. Well, what happened to the black women? What happened to the white women, right? These white women that go on TV and want to rail on Deshaun Watson. We're going to talk about Deshaun Watson here in a little bit, right? So they're going to rail on Deshaun Watson. They're going to rail on whatever player that's implicated in a legal situation. But those same women, you won't even catch them at a WNBA game. You won't catch them. You're not going to catch Molly Cams or the Sarah Spains or the Kelly Nolans. You're not going to catch none of them at a WNBA game because it's not attractive. It's not bringing in ratings. It's not bringing in money. That's why you can't take these can't take these people seriously. You catch them, they want to be in the biggest events. And what's the biggest events? The Super Bowls, the NBA Finals, right? Those are the biggest events. That's where you find the Katie Nolans, the Sarah Spains, and the Molly Karens, right? They're not supporting the WNBA because they can say they support the WNBA, but they're not putting their money where their mouth is. So I'm not down with that play where everything goes wrong, blame the black man. Get the fuck out of here. All right, so we all know she's been sentenced to 9 years in prison, right? Now look at this disingenuous article right there. Where are the male athletes standing up for WNBA superstar Brittney Griner? But I gotta push back on that. Where's the LGBT standing up for Brittney Griner? Where are they? Where's the LGBT community at? Now she's a big advocate. She lives the lifestyle. She's donated money, time, and resources to the LGBT movement. Where are they at? Right? When she was locked up in prison, out there and being quote unquote wrongfully detained or whatever like that, right? When that Roe v. Wade came down, and pretty much for all intents and purposes, got overturned from the Supreme Court, right? Because they only been knowing that for like months on end. They only been telling people for months on end that Supreme Court ruling was going to happen. And when it finally did happen, they protested that. You had all these women out here protesting in the streets about that. They wouldn't protest in the streets for Brittney Griner. They care less about Brittney Griner. But it's on the black men, right, to stand up for Brittney Griner, right? It's on the LeBron James and the Kevin Durant's and the Stephen Curry's to speak up about Brittney Griner when she went over there and broke their laws. So no, she was not wrongfully detained. And I wish the media would stop saying that. Anybody that's been in the military or anyone that's played basketball overseas, they know what the deal is, right? They know what the deal is. You can't go over in them countries and break their laws and think that you're going to get some kind of proper treatment in your eyes. It's not going to happen. You can't go over to their countries breaking their laws and think just because you're an American, you're going to get a pass. You're not going to get a pass. They're going to make an example out of you. And the headlines, they're going to be like, U.S. citizen, all this, right? Or if you're in the military, U.S. Navy sailor, or if you're in the Army, U.S. Army soldier, right? They make sure they put that U.S. in the front. Because when you're over there, it's not about you. It's about you being an ambassador or representing yourself in a way to where you don't bring any kind of negative attention to yourself or in the country you live in. Exactly, Keon Moore. So if she's saying that she's wrong, then why are all these people out here complaining about this? Oh, what she got was that sentence was excessive. She going to jail. So where's the outrage for the black men that they want to emasculate and castrate on TV? I did a video about Vincent Simmons. Vincent Simmons did 44 years in prison over a crime he didn't commit, and that happened in Louisiana. Last time I checked, Louisiana was here in the United States. Where was the outrage about that? Where was the outcry and the miscarriage of justice about that? Oh yeah, it didn't exist then. Because they didn't fit the narrative. What's up, Terry Smoot? Salute to you, bro. Good to see you. Keon Morris, good to see you too. Make sure you hit that like button as y'all come on in. Right? Where was the justice? Where was the outcry? Where was the outrage about that? You got countless black men going to jail over crimes they didn't commit. 10, 20, 30, even 40 years going down the line, and you find out there was misconduct in the police departments, there was misconduct on the bench, and there was misconduct amongst the lawyers and defense attorneys withholding evidence, and things like that. But there was no outrage about that. There was no outcry about that. There wasn't no support about, oh well, when this man was wrongfully convicted in the system and all that, and the system failed him. Right? There was no outrage about that. Hell, there's another dude who's in the United States Marine Corps by the name of Paul Whelan. Now, Paul Whelan is a lesser known name than Brittney Griner, right? With people batting an eye and losing sleep and getting them and going into convulsions about him. That dude was in the military, for crying out loud. He served the United States in the Marine Corps, and he's a white dude, right? But since he's a lesser known figure, right? Since he's a lesser known individual, right? He don't get the same treatment as Brittney Griner. No one's going to bat for him outside of his circle, outside of his family, whatever like that. No one's going to bat for Paul Whelan. And you wonder why these countries out here have the disdain for the United States, because they see the hypocrisy in the democracy, right? And it starts with these politicians, and it starts with these so-called activists that want to pick and choose who they want to protect and pick and choose who they want to go after. The eye in the sky, number 5 on the dial. Secret agenda, frequency antenna, Dr. Mindbender. Watch what you're watching. Now, I made that little, I said that little lyric. That was off of Nas's song called Sly Fox off his Untitled album back in 2008. He made that song going after Bill Riley after Nas performed at a concert down in Virginia Tech in light of the shooting, that mass shooting that happened at Virginia Tech. So Nas performed at the concert. Bill O'Wifebeater, aka Bill O'Reilly, got all hot and bothered about that and started taking a shot at Nas, and Nas responded with that song called Sly Fox. The Sly Fox Cyclops locked in the idiot box. They monopolize the news and views and the channel you choose. Propaganda, visual cancer, the eye in the sky, number 5 on the dial. You get a chance, check that song out. That song hit the nail right on the head when it comes how the media be misleading you. Watch what you're watching. Now, I'm trying to tell y'all, Brittney Griner broke the laws over there. So these people out here that's talking this nonsense about, oh, she was wrongfully detained and she was wrongfully convicted. She admitted to doing what she did. She pled guilty. So how in the hell could she be wrongfully detained if she pled guilty? Think about that, right? Use common sense. Ain't no innocent person I know will plead guilty to some crime they didn't commit. She was busted on camera. They have the camera footage of them pulling out the weed cartridges in her bag. How did that get there? Did they put it there? No. She was being irresponsible because she had some kind of perception about, oh, well, just because I'm an American, I can go wherever, do wherever, and nobody gonna challenge me on it. And she's been going over there for years playing in that Russian association. Right? And they're not going, and I'm glad you brought that up, Keon Morris. I'm glad you brought that up. Because how many people you heard in the media talk about her past as with that domestic violence charge? You ain't heard about that in the media. Right? You got idiots like Sarah Spain. She'll sit up there and wail on Deshaun Watson, but when Chad Wheeler beat the hell out of his ex-girlfriend who was black, what did she say? What did she come out and say? Oh, well, he's not an impactful player, so I really don't care about that. What? What kind of crap is that to be saying? Oh, he's not an impactful player like Deshaun Watson, so I don't care about that. Well, woman, we don't care about you, okay? And you can keep your stupid takes to yourself. Now, like I said, I wish the media would stop saying that Brittney Griner was wrongfully detained. She was not. She was busted She got caught with that weed cartridge in her bag. And I challenge us, for the people that's in this chat room right now, and for the people who's going to come on later on to watch the replay, I challenge you to think for yourself. Do not let the media mislead you with a whole bunch of garbage. Think for yourself, right? Because a lot of stuff that the media says just doesn't make sense 90% of the time. And then they're trying to shift blame. Look, she had that thing in her bag. Now, how did that get in her bag? How the devil did those weed cartridges ended up in her bag? Right? Now, she was making more money over there than she does over here, because people are not going to the games. It should not just be incumbent on NBA players. It should not just be incumbent on just black men in general to turn out for these games, when a lot of the players don't even like men. A lot of the players are married to women. So where's the LGBT at on this? Despite WNBA players showing solidarity with male athletes as they protested racial police violence, right? Okay, so this is another part of the article that's misleading, considering that there were black women, because remember Breonna Taylor? Remember her? Remember Atiana Jefferson? Remember her? Right? Black men weren't the only one that was getting murdered by police. Black women was getting murdered by police too. So what is this guy talking about? Dave Zirin. He's the opinion columnist right here. Dave Zirin, what the hell are you talking about? Black men weren't the only people that's getting murdered by police. Did you forget about Breonna Taylor? Did you forget about Atiana Jefferson? Amongst a host of other women, black women that were getting gunned down by police? Russia is mercilessly allowing Griner to twist in the wind as she awaits her fate, and she got sentenced to 9 years in prison yesterday. The league's fight followed 2 months of silence requested by the U.S. State Department and Griner's wife Sherelle as the U.S. attempted to negotiate with Russia, but now that the State Department has declared that Griner has been wrongfully detained, and see, there it is right there. The State Department needs to stop lying to folks. She has not been wrongfully detained. She went over there and broke their law. And I don't want to hear nobody coming on here trying to say, well, it was only a gram of weed, man. It was less than a gram. It doesn't matter. That's your ideology. That's what you think. Just because they decriminalized it here doesn't mean you won't get thrown in the pokey over there. There's no Fourth Amendment rights over there in Russia. Right? There ain't no right to a speedy trial over there. They will keep you there for as long as they want to. So here's a piece of advice. If you want to avoid that, don't break any laws. If you go over there, be a good Samaritan, mind your business, stop trying to act like you the end all be all. Just because you're an American, you'll be all right. But the minute you go out there and try to put your dick out there, it's gonna get chopped off. I promise you that. Case in point, before I move on to Deshaun Watson, right? There was a man out in Singapore back in the around the mid-90s, I say about 94, that was out there vandalizing cars and all that, right? Now, Bill Clinton, when he was president at the time, he was able to work out a deal to get him back home. But not before that dude got 12 public lashes to the back. Singapore was like, yeah, we'll get him back to you, but we're gonna cane his ass 12 times. He can get a public lashing before we send him back. And if he didn't agree to it, guess what? he was gonna rot in their prison forever long they wanted to keep him there. So he took his 12 lashes, they sent him back, and he got deported back to the United States. But it looks like the men's league and most sports media outlets cannot be bothered with what ought to be the biggest story in the sports world. Well, why should it be the biggest story in the sports world? Why should it be? She broke a law. So why should it be the biggest story in the sports world? There's other stories out there that could be bigger than this. Like, I don't know, the what's going on with the Washington Commanders and Daniel Snyder. How's that not a big story? He's out here sexually assaulting women and not paying his fair share when it comes to the season ticket holders and all. He's with them holding money from them, right? He is running a horrible organization out there in DC, and no one bats an eye about that because they're worried about his character and they're worried about his reputation, right? But it's on the athletes. It's on the male athletes to show their solidarity towards her. I just don't understand the whole play, man. That thing is a whole bunch of garbage, man. For real, it's a whole bunch of garbage. And I wish the media would stop lying to folks. Shifting gears. We're gonna move on to Deshaun Watson. Now, the NFL has appealed the 6-game suspension that was imposed upon him by Sue L. Robinson, right? Now, the NFL is looking for an indefinite suspension of a year. Now, mind you, he has not played football in a year, right? He didn't play at all last year with the Houston Texans. Now, this appeal is supposed to be the final one as it stands. So whatever comes out of this, that's what's going to stick, right? Now, something in the back of my head is going to tell me that they're going to try to suspend this guy for the whole entire season. And I think that's disgusting, considering that, one, there were no criminal indictments on Deshaun Watson, despite the fact that on 2 different occasions, Tony Busby tried to impose that in 2 different counties. But see, nobody wants to talk about that. Nobody wants to talk about the fact that Tony Busby is also good friends with the owner of the Houston Texans. Nobody wants to talk about that, right? Nobody wants to talk about how one of the accuser's sons came out and called out his mama for trying to get a bag. Nobody bat an eye about that, right? But you lead up to them dimwits like Marley Cameron and Sarah Spain and all that. They got all this stuff to say about Deshaun Watson. Oh, he's an impact player, so we got to talk about this, man, right? How do we know that these women hadn't already lied? Where's the proof, right? I keep asking these people, where's the proof? And no, I don't want to hear nothing, no goddamn deposition and all that. Get the fuck out of here. Where's the actual proof, right? We are here basically convicting this man on hearsay. In the court of public opinion, this man is being convicted on hearsay. Now, I'm sharing another article with you guys, right? This is a 7-page document. And one of the females who came out against him was this woman by the name of Ashley Solis. Look at this right here, right? Just in case some of y'all hadn't seen it. Since 16 March 2021, when the first 22 lawsuits was filed against Deshaun Watson, he has been adamant that he's not engaged in any of the improper conduct that has been alleged. At the same time, he and his defense team have insisted they adamantly oppose, condemn, and disapprove of any type of sexual misconduct against women. Legitimate claims should have been reported to authorities, taken seriously, and proponents treated respectfully. However, in a few days, Mr. Watson has learned the identities of accusers. His legal team has already uncovered evidence that numerous allegations of the onslaught of cases are simply not true or accurate. Oh, before I continue on, right? Before I continue on, I want to know why did it take the NFL so long to come out and do their own investigation on Deshaun Watson, right? Because remember, there was a criminal investigation out on Deshaun Watson, right? The NFL did not step in, right? The NFL wanted to wait, right? Now, typically, the NFL would have their own investigators go in and do something, but it took forever to do it, right? And they didn't suspend Deshaun Watson, right? So that's the question I had, right? Where would the NFL, what took them so long to get into the investigation process, right? So you had the Houston, the police investigate, came back with no charges, right? You had the DA, as I alluded to, Tony Busby, going to two different counties trying to get an indictment on Deshaun Watson. And on both occasions, they came back and said no, right? After the therapy session with Mr. Watson, 8 plaintiffs bragged about, praised, and were excited about massaging Mr. Watson. 7 plaintiffs willingly worked or offered to work with Mr. Watson after the alleged incidents. 3 plaintiffs lied about the number of sessions they actually had with Mr. Watson. 3 plaintiffs lied about their alleged trauma and resulting harm. 5 plaintiffs told they wanted to get more money out of Mr. Watson, and 5 plaintiffs have scrubbed or entirely deleted their social media accounts. What's up, Mark Wonderlick? Salute to you, bro. Now, where was the outrage about that? These people out here falsely accusing Deshaun Watson. They making Deshaun Watson out to be this boogeyman, right? They making him out to be this predator, right? Now, these women out here lying and attempt to get a bag. It was not until the plaintiffs saw opportunity to get a money grab that they changed their stories, convert therapy sessions they bragged about their friends and family to something much more nefarious. Innocent questions about whether the therapists were comfortable with the therapy Mr. Watson saw evolve into sexual innuendo that the plaintiffs used to bolster their claims for money. For example, in a lawsuit filed, plaintiff Ashley Solis implied that Mr. Watson's question asked if she was comfortable with certain areas his organization is making him get worked on was somehow sexually aggressive. The same question, however, posed to a therapist not seeking to exploit Mr. Watson was perceived as intended a legitimate therapeutic inquiry. Ms. Solis' skewed perception of Mr. Watson's legitimate and innocent query became a prototype for the assembly line of similar allegations in subsequent lawsuits. So this is the question I got, right? If you were so uncomfortable with that, why didn't you leave immediately? If Ashley Solis was so uncomfortable, if he had her feeling some kind of way, why didn't she leave? Why did she continue to give this man massages or whatever? Right? Unless you're trying to do this for a money grab. And then you read and then she's out here reading from a prepared statement. Ain't no person I know that went through such a traumatic experience could be reading from some prepared statement. They're out here trying to railroad this man, and the media out here trying to make this man guilty in the court of public opinion. When this man was For all intents and purposes, he was found innocent in the court of law. Now, we go back to the Brittney Griner situation, right? They want to sit up here and talk about how, the system is so unfair and unjust and we need to bring Brittney home. But these same hypocrites will look at the Deshaun Watson case and make him to be guilty when there's no evidence, all is hearsay, and then we find all these conflicting stories, but yet somehow he's still guilty. And you wonder why these countries here have the disdain and the disrespect for the United States. What's up, Isaiah? He says, maybe I'm wrong and I'm not justifying it, but how many of these girls do you actually think said no? I think a lot of them gladly pleased Deshaun. Exactly. That's why I alluded to in the first page before you came on there. These girls were probably all giddy on the inside. Was Johnny in the behind that they got to rub down Deshaun Watson? Now, how many of these girls you know that was rubbing him down and they probably putting baby oil on him and all that, and they were having all kinds of dreams in their head about how Deshaun Watson would bounce them off of her and bounce right off of them or some shit, right? Right? You mean to tell me that after that rub down, they weren't talking about their friends, they weren't talking about their co-workers, they get home telling their family, girl, you wouldn't believe who I rubbed down today. I rubbed down Deshaun Watson. Girl, stop lying. They're probably all jolly in the behind, but touching his arms, his leg, his behind, and all that. And they were probably getting all kinds of things in their head about what he would do to them. But somehow they were terrified. He was this raging sex predator, right? Man, if y'all don't get up out of here, man, if y'all don't get up out of here, right? Let's read more of this stuff, right? These lawsuits are replete with mischaracterizations of Mr. Wandick's conduct. These range from misleading to fraudulent to slanderous. Importantly, 2 of the 22 lawsuits allege that Mr. Watson forced any type of sexual activity, allegation that Mr. Watson, again, vehemently denies. And even in this early stage of litigation, the evidence obtained by the defense clearly supports Mr. Watson's denial of these allegations of force. As plaintiff Shanae Lawson's business manager put it, it is not extortion, it's blackmail. Unfortunately, 21 other women have decided to join her. Now, problems with the plaintiff's allegations. Mr. Watson received the plaintiff's names less than a week ago, right? Because the judge had ruled that the people who accused Deshaun Watson need to identify themselves, because a lot of people were just coming out saying that Watson touched me the wrong way and Deshaun Watson made me feel uncomfortable and all this other nonsense, right? But nobody wanted to identify themselves. They wanted to keep themselves anonymous until the judge ruled that you had to identify yourself if you made such allegations, right? After the massage therapy session, Mr. Watson, plaintiffs bragged about, praised, and were excited to massage Mr. Watson. Plaintiff Shanae Lawson claims in the lawsuit that she was disgusted by Mr. Watson. Yet, after her therapy session with him, she bragged to friends and family members about massaging Mr. Watson and told them that she thinks he is a kind person. A security guard at the spa when Mr. Watson received the massage and stated that plaintiff Tangi Johnson was happy and laughing about her interaction with Mr. Watson. She was excited about having worked on him and did not want any other therapist to work on him. Now, how many of you seen this? Huh? I want to know. How many of you guys out here seeing this? Right? Okay. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. According to the security guard present at the spa, after one plaintiff, Marshall Davis's sessions with Mr. Watson, Ms. Davis was laughing and appeared in good spirits. Another witness characterized Ms. Davis as quote-unquote jolly after working with Mr. Watson, and Ms. Davis told multiple family members that she would massage Mr. Watson again. She even told people that while she's not into men, his body is so beautiful and soft, and that she was not a lesbian, she would have jumped on Mr. Watson. But he made you feel uncomfortable, right? You was gonna jump on Deshaun Watson, even though you're not in the man. But if you were in the man, you was gonna jump on him like how a dog jump on the piece of chicken that got thrown on the floor, right? Right? But he made you feel uncomfortable. You were disgusted by being around Deshaun Watson, right? Okay, whatever. Fuck out of here. Plaintiff Shalise Bell fails to explain that after the first 2 therapy sessions where she alleged she was increasingly uncomfortable, she willingly invited Mr. Watson to come to her house for the last 2 therapy sessions. So let me ask y'all something, right? Let's use some common sense. What woman you know that's going to let a man come to her house, much less invite him over to her house if she felt uncomfortable being around him? Huh? Help me make that make sense, y'all. If a woman felt uncomfortable with a certain man around her, right? You think a woman would invite that man to her house for some therapy sessions? What kind of therapy sessions? Some grown up undressing sessions? Huh? Come on now. Come on now. You know, hey, like I said before, man, you know there's some BS going on. You know there was some kangaroo court going on when it comes to Deshaun Watson, right? Let's continue on. Plaintiff Kyla Hayes, Robin Casado, and Kimberly Bryce omitted after their session with Mr. Watson. They told him they would gladly work with him again. And in fact, Kimberly Bryce reported to a close relative that she was thrilled to have had the opportunity to massage Watson. Plaintiff Erica Chapman claimed that after her initial therapy session, Mr. Watson hounded her about setting up another session. She fails to explain as she eagerly showed up to Mr. Watson's house to give him another massage, even before he even had the chance to book an appointment. So you mean to tell me this girl went to the man's house? She just rolled up in the man's house and said, hey, I was just in the neighborhood. Now, I just felt the need to ask you something, Mr. Watson. Yeah, I know you're a busy man on that, and, I'm kind of down on my luck right now, but is there any way I can rub you down so I can get me a little money? What? But she felt uncomfortable. She going in the man's house, but she uncomfortable. She was disgusted by him. Everyone get out of here with that nonsense. You say there is no such thing as lesbians because they do toys that exactly, Mark. Exactly. They don't want the real thing, but they'll go out to some head shop and buy some $70 black dildo. Okay. Yeah. I tell you, man, these women lying, bro. And they about to railroad Deshaun Watson in the media, right? And if you ask me, the damage has already been done to Deshaun Watson. The damage is already done. How can he recover from this? There ain't no way this man can recover from this. People ain't gonna hear the truth, or people ain't gonna want to know the truth, and this man is gonna be guilty in the court of public opinion. Right? Because when stuff goes wrong in this country, blame the black man. Okay, at least 5 of the plaintiffs chose to work with Mr. Watson even after they claimed he acted offensively and aggressively in prior sessions. You had Erica Chapman, Caitlin Harrington, Rebecca Nagy, Toy Garner, and Shalise Bell. This, of course, raises the question, why would they agree to follow-up sessions when they claim their experience and made them feel like they wanted to vomit and caused them to no longer accept massage clients for a fear of repeat of this type of harassment? That was a question I would ask too. Right? So you make the allegation, then you continue to work on the guy? Then you continue to rub this man down because, you got creamy down there. Right? Let's just be honest about that. They continue to rub this man down because they got creamy down there. And they would imagine their head would have felt like if it was a black woman, it'd be a dick. If it was a white woman, it'd be a cock that was going up inside that. Let's just be honest. We all adults in here. I don't want nobody coming here acting all disgusting and feel like they wanted to vomit in their own right. Right? Let's be honest about this. We all grown adults, right? What man don't get an erection when they see an attractive female? What unless you're gay. right? If you like dick in your booty and you're a dude, you know what I'm saying, you got a thing for bussy, then obviously I don't expect you to answer that question. But if you're a straight man and you see a woman walking by, she's looking good, she's smelling good, she don't got no hammer toes, doing this hammer time, hammer time, hammer time, right? You be thinking all kinds of scenarios, what you want to do with her, whether it be in the back of the car or on a hotel room suite or in a dingy ass bathroom at the club. Let's just be honest. Right? So this whole notion that these women are so disgusted by Deshaun Watson and the mere thought of the mere mention of his name just makes them want to vomit. Yeah. But then you want to go to his house unannounced. You want to have future therapy sessions with somebody that make you want to vomit. Okay. All right. All right. Huh. All right. Plaintiff Tangi Johnson claims she was fearful and felt violated, terrified, and disgusted after her therapy session with Mr. Watson. She does not explain why then, on more than one occasion, she messaged him after his football game to check on him and asked to massage him again. Yeah, that's a good question. If you felt violated, terrified, and disgusted, why are you calling this man phone? Why are you texting this man phone talk? But hey, look, I know I might be terrified. I know I feel violated by you and all that because for some reason in my own warped and manipulated mind that I feel that you touched my pussy the wrong way. But hey, aside from that, is it okay to come to your house to give you a massage? I know you had a really rough game. You threw 3 interceptions and all. What? No. What's up, Carla? She said, the thing two people do in the field is that compromise the NFL money back. Yep, exactly. My man Maximus Royalty. He says if I'm Deshaun Watson, his attorneys, Rusty Harden, I'll sue the NFL women's groups, media outlets, and others. Exactly, because this is what we call slander. This is slanders what these people doing. Slander. Libel is what you put on paper. So my question is, these women out here lying on these affidavits and all that, where are the criminal charges against these women for perjury? Where is it? Right? I'm just saying. Let's continue on more of this juicy stuff, right? Because this is juicy right here. Contrary to plaintiff Crystal DeRosa's claim that she was so disturbed by what allegedly occurred that she chose not to contact Mr. Watson about receiving the rest of the payment for the session, the evidence shows that after the alleged incident, she did attempt to contact Mr. Watson and even asked to work for him again. In stark contrast, the plaintiff Caitlin Harrington's statement that after the alleged incident, she told Mr. Watson that she would not work for him and he's not been able to move on from these experiences. She contacted Mr. Watson multiple times, telling him that she was attracted to him and wanted to go out on dates with him. Really? 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 Is that right? Hey, Mr. Watson, hey, look, I know you make me feel uncomfortable, and I also know that, I don't want to work for you again because, you just come off in such a way that just kills my vibe and all that. But hey, you want to go to dinner on Friday night? Right? You want to go to dinner on Friday night with a man that makes you feel uncomfortable, but yet you don't want to work for him no more, but you want to go out on dates with the man. Come on now. Come on now. Plaintiffs lied about the number of sessions they had with Mr. Watson. The following plaintiffs failed to mention they had more therapy sessions with Mr. Watson than he had pleaded. Kyla Hayes, Robinita Miller, and Robin Casado. Presumably, these plaintiffs minimized their interaction with Mr. Watson because these facts undermine their allegations. Plaintiffs lied about the alleged trauma and resulting harm. Plaintiff Ashley Solis claimed that during the news conference, while crying crocodile tears in the process, she can no longer practice the profession that she loves without shaking during the session. Really? 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 Okay. So what was you shaking? What was shaking? Your whole body or your pussy was shaking? Because you had that inclination in your head what would feel like if that big old black bull was inside of you. Right? That's what you was shaking about? That's what you was creaming about? Huh? You probably had your own rabbit touching yourself all inappropriately in the bedroom by yourself. You probably had a porno on the process too, right? Probably had some slow jazz playing in the background. Tell me, do you still care? Yeah. And you be like, oh, Deshaun, right? But he made you feel uncomfortable, right? Okay. Okay. All right. Shut up. Yet, publicly available information showed that she has provided multiple messages after the alleged incident with Mr. Watson. Indeed, not only is she still accepting clients, but according to these people who work with her, she did not show any signs of trauma during these sessions. While playing Toy Garner claimed that by the end of the massage, she was sweating, there was nowhere for her to go. She neglects to mention that she had multiple family members in the home and nearby during these therapy sessions. Really? Really? Mm-hmm. You see, Deshaun gave her that incredible hug, huh? That's right. Hey, don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry. No, she ain't just liked it. She loved it when he got angry. You know what I'm saying? Smacking the ass, pulling the hair, you know what I'm saying? Licking some nipples, all that stuff, man. All that good stuff, right? All that stuff to make it go gushy gushy in it. All right. Let's try. I'm gonna try to keep it professional now. All right. Try to keep it PG. And plaintiff Marshall Davis alleged she was alone at the spa and feared for her life during these therapy sessions with Mr. Watson. However, a security guard hired by the spa was present at the spa all times and capable of intervening if an incident had in fact occurred. Yeah, kind of piece of information we wanted to know. Plaintiffs told they wanted to get money out of Mr. Watson. Plaintiff Marshall Davis told close family members that if Mr. Watson's attorney had paid her, she would have stopped supporting him instead of suing him. She also told her family that she had contemplated blackmailing Mr. Watson. Plaintiff Crystal DeRosa told a witness that the only reason she was getting involved in the lawsuit was for money. She even laughed about it and stated that she wanted to get in on the action. Plaintiff Shanae Lawson admitted sought to blackmail Mr. Watson before she filed suit. She asked him to pay her $30,000 for indefinite silence because her encounter would be embarrassing if revealed. More importantly, when Mr. Watson's marketing manager, Brian Burney, asked her whether she was claiming that something happened against her will, she confirmed that everything occurred was consensual. And finally, she told Mr. Burney she wanted a copy of the NDA that she and Mr. Watson signed because she did not want people in her industry to know that she provided oral sex to her massage client. Really? Really? Ah! Oh, so you're giving out happy endings at the end of your sessions, huh? Right? You giving out nightcaps, huh? All right. All right. All right. So how many other forms of DNA was in her mouth after these so-called massage therapy sessions, huh? Huh? I just want to know, right? See, this is the kind of stuff that don't get talked about on ESPN, right? Because they don't fit the narrative. This is the kind of stuff that idiot Nick Wright would not talk about on TV, right? And don't think it's not lost upon me of what that idiot Nick Wright said when it came to the Deshaun Watson affair. And shout out to Too Raw for TV for putting me on that piece of information, right? Nick Wright, you're a freaking buffoon. You're a clown. You're an idiot. And you're a goddamn old culture vulture. Yeah, I said it. Nick Wright, you are an absolute culture vulture. So you're giving out hand jobs and mouth music after you get done giving out them massages, huh? Oh yeah, by the way, Mr. Watson, I do have a bonus service that I do after all my massage therapy sessions and all that. For an extra X amount of dollars, I will have your dick in my mouth. What? Really? What you say? What you say? Hold on, hold on. Let me back up. Back up. What you say? Yeah, I give out sloppy toppies and happy endings for an additional fee. Right? Lauren Boebert put her on the net. Huh? Huh. He said, hey, if she's sexually assaulted, why would she ask for $30,000? She an escort, Lauren Boebert's cousin? Yeah, right. Yeah, right. She's a cheap hoe. This Sinead Lawson lady, yeah, she's probably a cheap hoe. Witnesses say that plaintiff Kimberly Bryce has a history of forcing herself on the celebrities, chasing celebrities, and running behind high profile athletes. They also describe her as being out for money and a money grabber. Mm-mm-mm. During one of the press conferences, Mr. Busby held regarding the case, plaintiff Ashley Solis claimed that he was not filing suit for monetary reasons, but what? Because this is about having her voice heard. What? Really? Having her voice heard, right? Well, I have my voice heard on these YouTube streets right now, right? My voice is being heard right now. What the hell is she talking about? Oh, it's not about the money. It's about having your voice heard for all the women that's out here. Get the fuck out of here with that. It's about having other survivors' voice heard. But laying on her assertion, though, Miss Solis would have abandoned her voice and being the voice of the alleged survivors if Mr. Watson would agree to pay her $100,000. Yeah, she's the voice of the voiceless, right? Right? She's the voice of the voiceless, right? Hey, look, if you give me $100,000, hey, I will be quiet. You will never ever hear from me ever again. What? But I thought this alleged thing happened to you. So this thing did not happen to you. You were looking for a money grab, right? You were looking for a money grab. You were looking for that big payday to get yourself out of debt, right? Okay, but you was Deshaun Watson make you feel uncomfortable, and Deshaun Watson make you want to vomit. Yet you still looking for extra massage therapy sessions, and you looking for happy endings and all this other stuff, right? Okay, all right, all right, yeah. GTFOH. That's why I said that. GTFOH! Exclamation mark. What's up, Unique Dawn? Salute to you, my sister. I see you up in here, right? Now, let's continue on. Plaintiffs have scrubbed or entirely deleted their social media accounts and the relevant evidence they contain. Each of the plaintiffs' petition contained a paragraph warning Mr. Watson to preserve relevant evidence, including digital information. Without question, Mr. Watson has and will continue to do so. However, the plaintiffs have failed to heed their own warning. At least four plaintiffs, Crystal DeRosa, Latoya Johnson Hanks, Tavi Turner, and Marshall Davis, have altered their accounts where they advertised the services that Mr. Watson acquired. Before their names became public, their accounts contained pictures that are inconsistent with the images they portrayed through their petitions. The items are no longer posted to their accounts. Plaintiff Kimberly Bryce took the destruction of evidence even further by completely deleting her Instagram account, which again is the account she claims to use to market her services, and the one that Mr. Watson used to contact her and hire her for a massage. Just disgusting. Just disgusting. General denial. Pursuant to Texas Civil Texas Rule of Civil Procedure 92, Washington generally denies the allegation and claims set forth in the plaintiff's original petition and demands strict proof, thereby by preponderance of the evidence and clear and convincing evidence as required by the Constitution laws of the state of Texas. Just incredible of all that sultry detail that we have saw there. Now, Looted Rider, what is your thoughts about that?
One, you do not go looking for a massage therapist on Instagram because you can't trust none of those females. Two, they mad because they thought they was gonna be that main chick in Deshaun Watson's life. Like, what kind of massage therapist tell the client like on the ground? So they trying to hit the lottery with Deshaun Watson. And what kind of massage therapist come invite them to their own house? And plus, like I've been saying for the last couple of months, LB, you videotape your sessions just in case cases like this happen. Just in case they saying you lying about this whole situation. You videotape your sessions to make sure no funny stuff goes on. So this is, I don't know why they so trying to take down Deshaun Watson like this, man. Like, I don't know what the NFL problem is. I don't know if they're trying to show females that they really support the women's movement and all that, or is it the Houston Texans telling Robert Goodell, hey, he needs to get a year, he needs to get more games than this. Because you put our franchise on the line, even though we're the one who set up these massage therapists for him. Because remember, the NFL works under the owners, and the owners are greedy, backstabbing motherfuckers who can try to make an example out of athletes, talking about, yeah, we can get away with this. Y'all can't get away with this. We're gonna make sure we make this kid an example, and make sure y'all understand, if you do this, we ain't gonna have you back no more. Cause this been going on for probably all these massage therapists trying to get paid, trying to basically be part of the millionaire level. They've been doing stuff like this for years. Think about LB. Think about how Kim Kardashian got put on. Because Ray J met her when she was doing makeup for some of these clients. So she thought if I sleep with Deshaun a couple of times, he gonna make me his main girl. And when that didn't happen, she got pissed off and felt like I got raped. I'm sorry, but if you sleep with a man a couple of times and you know you're sleeping with this man, and the man tells you what it is from the beginning and what it's going to be, and you still can't take that and step it, you should have never been sleeping with the man in the first place. You agree with me, LB? Ooh, I'm serious.
Oh yeah, I agree with you, bro. And you know, it's disgusting what's going on right now. This dude is literally getting put in the ringer. I mean,
they should have never gave up the sheet to Deshaun Watson, because that's basically what they did. Now they pissed off that they ain't gonna be that main girl, that side piece like they thought they gonna be. Now they want to call rape, talking about he did this to me, he did that to me. That's what they pissed off about. Because how many times did Lauren Taylor say, I got set up like a motherfucker? Now I'm starting to believe he got set up. Because every time he got with a groupie, they try to say he did something to them. Remember?
Yep.
Because I played football and I did get massages after game because when you play a full game, your body's hurting from head to toe. And they had video, they had cameras in that room. They made sure that it was like at least some people in that room too. So if she felt she talking about she felt violated, even though you tried to get with this man, even though you gave up the cheek to this man, you felt violated. No, they offer you a certain amount of money, probably life changing money, and you said all I gotta do is say he did it to me, and they told her yeah. She thought by doing this, she gonna get like some type of 15 minutes of fame. People gonna be on her side, feeling sympathy for her. Well, not everybody's on her side. Everybody thinks she's nothing but a liar, a bitter woman trying to get revenge.
Yep. I mean, the way I see it, bro, there's a whole systematic destruction and desecration of Deshaun Watson's name being put in play as we speak. Now, as far as I'm concerned, as far as I'm concerned, the damage has already been done. Okay? Even if they don't come out with any guilty verdicts and stuff like that, the damage has already been done. His reputation has been smeared, destroyed, and everything else.
He should to me again. He should have known better. Like you're young. I don't care how young you are. You should have been. You know you were raised better than that. Your mama had told you probably plenty of times. Watch out for these type of women. He said, "Okay, mom. Okay." He didn't listen. He got that money. The next thing you know, he's in this situation.
Well, that's not Deshaun Watson's fault. These women out here lying on his name. That's not his fault.
I know it's not. I know it's not his fault, LB. But he should have learned. He should have knew better. You're a millionaire, and it's a target on your back all the time now.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna put the blame on Deshaun Watson. It's not like he out here doing something stupid. Now, if he was out here like Darren Sharper, then yeah, I can see your point. You know what I'm saying? But all this man wanted to do is get a massage, and after for whatever reason he wanted to get a massage, right? This man broke no laws. He did nothing wrong. For the fact that you got the Texas owner was pissed off because Deshaun Watson wanted to trade, right? Now, mind you, before this whole situation came to light, we didn't hear nothing about Deshaun Watson in a negative light. We was talking about him being NFL Man of the Year, how he was a good Samaritan, how he was for his community, right? How he took care of his community. That's all we heard up until the time he wanted to get traded from the Houston Texans. Then all of a sudden now we hearing, oh, he's a raging sex predator, and how he made me feel uncomfortable, and all this other garbage.
I wouldn't want to play for a racist owner myself.
And you see what they did with the DeAndre Hopkins, right? When DeAndre Hopkins wanted out of Houston, what happened? All this BS started coming out about him.
And plus, when you don't hire the coach that he wants, and you hire somebody else, and you trade away some of his great weapons, of course I was going to want out of the organization. I want to be traded too, because you ain't trying to win, you're trying to save money.
So That's where I'm at on that, bro. I mean, it's disgusting what's going on with Deshaun Watson. But hey, they can rail on him, but yet they're the same hypocrites out here that talk about, oh man, we need to bring Brittney Griner home, man. But she was busted on the camera. She's busted on video with them drugs and all that. So, man, I don't want to hear nothing to come out of these people's mouths, man. You know what I'm saying? That's why we got the
We are,
hypocrisy and the democracy as we speak.
LB, we all know what Russell's trying to do. We all know the reason why they keep trying to keep her ass over there.
And to all these women out here that lying about people touching y'all the wrong way and you being raped and all that, you lying about that, you're doing a disservice to the people who actually went through that type of trauma.
Yep. Y'all making yourself look bad for that one. Because now the more y'all lie about something like that, the more the evidence to get the person who actually did something like that is gonna not stand in court.
I mean, we're in this climate now where you can't even look at a woman and compliment her without her saying that, oh, he sexually assaulted me, or he sexually harassed me.
You can't even tweet anything on social media now without being controversial.
You tell a woman she look good and whatever like that, she taking that the wrong way of thinking that you trying to holler at her or some shit. I mean, just all kinds of goofy nonsense out here with these. Oh man, you know what? I don't want to say anything else that's gonna give me a strike, man. So I'm gonna end the video on that note. Right now, I appreciate you for coming on, Luda Rider. You know what I'm saying? Everybody go subscribe to Luda Rider Sports. Right? Go sub to my homie. Now, if you're not a subscriber to this channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and share these videos on your social media platforms. All right? Shouts out to the LDBC. This your man. Scream at me. All right.